The Election Observer Mission has issued its final report on the 2015 general election held in the Virgin Islands on June 8, 2015, listing 8 recommendations. The 16-page report provides an overview of the 2015 general election with sections on the Election Observer Mission, advanced polling day, election day, the counting of votes, complaints and appeals, and participation of women and youth during the process. It also speaks to the Virgin Islands legal framework, election administration in the territory, candidate and voter registration, the campaign process, and the media. Honorable Steve Roden, Speaker of the House of Keys, Isle of Man, and head of the mission, has stated that the mission believes that the Virgin Islands 2015 general election was genuine, vibrant, and competitive. The Election Observer Mission said there was a high voter turnout and praised the Supervisor of Elections and election officials who were professional in carrying out their functions meticulously and impartially. The mission, however, stated that improvements were needed to streamline the cumbersome voting and counting procedures, as well as to address the deficiencies in the regulatory framework, particularly in relation to the registration of political parties and campaign financing. Among the 8 recommendations are introduction of fixed-term parliaments, which would fix the timing of elections, introduction of a code of conduct to be signed by candidates to allow for a respectful and clean issues-based campaign, the creation of a permanent independent elections commission, which would provide democratic oversight of the Office of the Supervisor of Elections, adding a further layer of public accountability. It would also provide clarity over the complaints process and address security requirements pertaining to the sealing and storing of ballot boxes. With regard to the legal framework, recommendations were made to consolidate the various statutes into a single piece of legislation and to amend it to include the establishment, registration, and regulation of political parties. It also recommended the introduction of finance regulations to provide guidelines and limits by individuals and businesses when contributing to a candidate or party's political campaign. Other recommendations were made on party and candidate advertising, the voting process, the closing of polls, and the counting process.